On us, you can. You can depend on us. It's a Super 80s podcast friend. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Super 80s podcast friend. We're a TV theme song explorer with one mission, and that is to analyze every single 1980s TV theme song, all genres, comedies, dramas, Alf. We love them all. You like that one?
I do.
Hey, and if you like us, if you'd be so kind as to like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, leave us a review, give us a star, gold star,
Sure. Silver
medal.
nipple, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Sure.
It helps us with our ultimate retirement goal. Professional podcasters.
Yeah.
We got this.
Almost there.
Almost there. Finally, you can reach out to us with comments, questions, jokes, anything else like that. We're on Facebooks, Instagrams, and more.
Threads.
Yeah. And you can email us at super80spodcastfriend@gmail.com. By the way, I'm John.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Peter.
And we like to start with a drink. Fellas, this is our 40th episode.
That's a lot.
Lordy, look who's 40. Do they still do over the hill merchandise?
I hope so.
I guess. But, I mean, when I'm past 40, and that seems really young, so, over the hill jokes don't even seem like they'd be that funny.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, I don't know anyone. None of us had over the hill memorabilia.
Engineer Pete did have a very cool 40th birthday
But weren't
party.
there adult diapers involved at possibly your wife's?
That was 30.
That was 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours
Really
was,
old.
you had a formal
Formals and
40s
40s.
party.
That's a great idea.
So it was
Yeah.
a black tie optional with a lot of malt liquor.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We all got pretty boozed up.
Yep.
We're 40 episodes.
Nice.
Man. So that was a long way of me getting to our What's in Our Glass segment.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan, what you drinking?
Dr. Fong of Tahiti.
Engineer Pete.
Dr. Fong of Tahiti.
I also am having a Dr. Fong of Tahiti. One of these Dr. Fongs is with the rum that our listeners, AJ and Joy, gave us as a gift for our 30th episode.
Oh.
Wow.
Thanks, guys. It's delicious.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a little drop. Cheers, guys. 40 episodes.
Cheers.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Can't believe it.
They said it couldn't happen.
I said it couldn't be done.
Here we are.
They said no one would listen, and they were right.
And they were right. One of these days, the numbers are going to go through the roof. I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Any
We're
day
all
now.
sure.
So we got our drink. Hey, it's time for retractions, observations, ideas, announcements, and listener stuff. Moving backwards, 39 was... Oh, shit.
Was it Hardcastle and McCormick?
Or Empty Nest.
Empty Nest, and then Hardcastle and McCormick was before that.
Okay.
And Days of Our Lives before that?
Yeah, and then maybe I don't know.
Do we need to go that far back?
Well, some of our listeners do.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So as we, I'm a podcast listener. Sometimes you catch episodes the week they come out, and sometimes you don't.
sure.
Mhm.
So our mailbag is all over the map. We get
Sure.
not that we get a ton of mail, but we get stuff right on time. Sometimes we get it late. Sometimes I forget to report on it. But I do have some mailbag stuff.
Awesome.
First one goes back to our American Gladiators episode.
Okay.
This is from a Facebook message from Angie. She said, "Oh my God, I'm pretty excited about this one. I absolutely loved this show. Tower was my favorite, and I didn't even know he was from Wisconsin.
Oh.
Oh, fun.
My friends and I, this is the best part, I can picture myself doing something like this. My friends and I all had gladiator names and would pass notes in 5th grade to each other using the names. I believe I was Zap."
Nice.
Very cool.
So thank you, Angie.
AKA Zap.
Yeah, thank you, Zap. Anonymous statistician has a fact for us. American Gladiators is only our second Wall of Shame song that was not unanimous.
Huh.
Interesting.
So like the Smurfs, for example, was a unanimous.
Yeah, usually when they're bad, we all know it's bad.
But Gladiators was not unanimous. Who gave that one a thumbs up?
I was just wondering that myself. I was like, did I do that?
Might have been Engineer
It could have
Pete.
been me. I'm all over the map.
We have a couple of Tom listeners. Apparently, everybody, I'd say 1 in 2 people in the 80s was named Tom.
Yeah,
Possible.
It's a good name.
Yeah. This is Tom from the 920. And he had a little comment about our ripping on the American Gladiators episode. Tom from the 920 writes, your episode on American Gladiators and the suckiness of Bill Conti's theme song gave me pause. Maybe the American Gladiators theme song is representative of a greater societal shift during this time period. When Bill Conti is working on the Rocky I soundtrack, the time best exemplified by his hit Flying High Now, with the emphasis on high, to the conspiratorial ear, it sounds like a song referencing cocaine, which became the high of the 70s into the 80s.
Okay.
But listening to American Gladiators, it does not sound high, but rather big. As your podcast adroitly pointed out, it exhibited not just fanfare, but big fanfare to match the bigness of the program.
It's true.
And that represents a societal shift in performance enhancers at the time. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that Bill Conti used either cocaine or steroids. But it is also important to point out that he was not tested for any performance-enhancing drugs, unlike the Gladiators.
That's true.
true.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
there we go. Love it.
A lot of good points in there.
Thank you, Tom, from the 920. What else do I have here? This is going back to Shirt Tales, which is somewhere. Yura, our longtime listener and friend from Finland, not one of Hoyt's finest works. And then he followed up, which was actually a really interesting fact. Nancy Cartwright, a.k.a. Bart Simpson, was one of the voices on Shirt Tales.
Oh. I'm surprised Conky missed that.
Couldn't tell.
What else do we have here? Just a couple more. Listener Tyler and Madison. Putting in my request for the end of the show questions, would you rather segment to come back to the show.
Yeah.
Haven't heard one since Star Trek, when the question was, would you rather make love to your wife to the Star Trek song or the Out of This World song? So I've got a couple I've put together for the end of the episode. I think that's about it for the mailbag. That was pretty big. Anybody watch a show?
Yes.
Wow.
All right, Engineer Pete, what'd you watch?
Hardcastle and McCormick.
What?
Awesome, because I didn't.
Wow.
Holy shit. Where'd you find it, first of all?
YouTube. So the quality was garbage. It
I
was
believe that.
super
I love it.
pixelated. It was super pixelated.
Yeah.
It was funny. It made me kind of think, like, do we still have action comedy shows on TV?
Good
And then it
point.
also kind of goes back to discussing when you had so few channels, you had to appeal to the whole family.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize McCormick lives with Hardcastle.
What?
Come on.
So the judge takes in the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Lives in his house. They solve crimes together. And this episode that I watched was about an old racing friend of McCormick's who had actually been a lot more successful than him. But this guy is kind of doing some shady stuff because he's getting washed up. He wants to confess to this crime, but his name is on a bunch of tire stores and things. And he finds out that his financial backing through his whole career has been the mob.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
And there
Like
was
Tommy James.
There was a
Exactly.
fixer that was helping his career, possibly including a race where he beat McCormick, unbeknownst to the both of them.
Okay.
And then at this exact time, Hardcastle goes down to the basement and pulls out one of his files, and he's like, "Oh, you know why he's afraid? This is where he got his money
One
from.
of the
This guy,
files
the
that we
mobster."
learned
Yeah.
about.
So the files conveniently
Damn.
appear,
Yeah.
and then they go to talk to the race car driver about this, and like right at that time, he's being kidnapped by the mobsters because they're
Oh,
going to
man.
off him,
Good
and there's
timing.
a car chase.
Wow.
And then somehow they figure out a way to set up the mob, like get them to confess something on a phone call or something so that they can arrest them, and this race car driver can go back to his life.
His
Did
regular
McCormick-
life.
Yeah.
Did McCormick do a lot of driving? Was there a lot of...
There was some driving, yes,
Yeah.
because him and his old friend went to a racetrack, and just to see, his friend is very conscious about if he's still got his stuff, so he goes and
Race.
races McCormick. And it was hilarious because the racing scenes, they're both just driving. I'm not a racing expert, but it was sloppy. Like, they're just fishtailing all over the place and sliding off the track.
Not the best stunt drivers in Hollywood.
No. And I think it's for the effect. And it was hilarious because his race car that he drives, and he was street racing. That was one of the shady things this guy was doing. It was like a 60s vintage race car that it was like a Ferrari that I'm pretty sure today would be like in the $10 to $20 million.
Holy shit.
And he's just out on the streets racing Trans Ams and stuff.
Nice.
Was McCormick driving that speed buggy looking car?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. The
kit car?
Coyote X.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It still looks weird.
Yeah.
So what would you give this show? I mean,
I enjoyed it. I wish I
okay.
could find it on a better format.
if you had to choose between watching Hardcastle McCormick or Square Pegs, which would you watch?
Ooh.
Square Pegs.
Okay.
All right.
I've
And
watched
this
a few
is
more
it
episodes
sounds
of
like
that.
it's
Yes, Pete. This is great. This
It
is what
is.
this show's for.
yeah. And is Hardcastle an hour-long program or a half hour?
That's a good question. I can't remember.
Okay.
Um,
But Square Pegs every day of the week, and
if I had enough
on June's Day,
episodes,
and
I would, yes, every day.
Well, I'm glad you watched that.
yeah,
That's
nice
cool.
work.
Which theme song did you get? Drive or the other one?
Oh, I think it was Drive. I think it was Drive.
Oh, the other one was better.
I didn't mind Drive as much. Did I actually vote yes on Drive? I can't
Great
remember.
question.
But either way.
Anonymous statistician, let us know how we vote.
Yeah,
Share this spreadsheet
Let
with
us-
us, would
let
you?
us-
He doesn't trust us with it.
we need. It's
Probably
we're,
not for
we're
the best.
40 deep already. We need a lot of help here.
Yeah, these. Speaking of being 40 deep, these Dr. Wongs are really good.
There's a lot of Fong to go around, and it's good.
Yep.
It is good. It's going quick.
Yeah.
I might have to have a beer on this episode. It's our birthday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you're over the hill, it doesn't matter.
Any other notes on Hardcastle and McCormick?
No, I think that covers it.
Cool. I watched 2 episodes of Empty Nest.
Oh my
course.
word!
Nice.
I started out with season 1, episode 4,
Oh,
because it's titled Fatal Attraction.
jeez.
The doc comes home from work, totally tired. He climbs into his bed. Guess who's in it?
His neighbor.
One of the Golden Girls.
Blanche.
Oh, outstanding.
She wants to bang him so bad.
She's in heat.
Indeed.
Always.
She uses the key that he gave to them for emergencies. He says, this is an emergency. And she says, oh, yes,
It is.
And she says, I want you, Harry, and I know you want me. I mean, she is a seductress. She says, I'm on fire. My loins burn and ache.
Jeez.
So
He
you
res-
were right, Pete. You were right.
He responds with, could be a bladder infection. Laugh track goes crazy.
Nice.
The neighbor sailor guy, Charlie,
Yeah.
frickin' fantastic.
Great.
One of him in every 80s show. He's on the couch drinking one of the doc's Budweisers, lets himself in.
Yeah.
They start talking about Blanche and her intense sexual desires. The neighbor guy says, I don't even tell women my real name anymore. Sometimes I don't even tell them where I live. Sometimes I speak with an accent. And then he says, quote, I don't want some crazy broad stalking me.
Nice.
Harry goes to the doctor's office, and remember, he's a pediatrics doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Nurse is like, there's somebody in waiting room 1. Guess who's in the waiting room?
Oh, I'll guess.
Go ahead.
Blanche.
Yeah, she starts taking off her blouse.
Nice. Knows no boundaries.
He says, I'd like you to take a look at something, she says, and then she starts taking off her shirt.
Wow.
Anyway, that was the first episode.
Did you watch it all the way through?
Yeah, and I did. I kind of skipped around a little bit.
Sure.
Some scenes got a little long, so it was
Did
on
you
YouTube.
think it was racy for primetime TV?
You know, if there's one thing I've learned is that I think the 80s were racier than we remember, and then there was a cooling of the engines in the 90s that made us think that nothing was racy until new racy stuff came out.
Sure.
Does that make any sense? Maybe I need a little more rum.
Sort of, yeah.
So I think it seems racy to us now because we were becoming like more adult-like in the 90s, but maybe it wasn't.
Okay.
But I mean, yes, I was surprised. Watched
I mean,
another
if I was watching an episode with my kid and there's a lady saying my loins are
Mount me. She didn't
burning
say that.
and aching,
Mount me.
she basically, it was implied. I would think that'd be pretty awkward.
Season 1, episode 21, Charlie, the neighbor guy, walks in with a greyhound.
Okay.
Doc's like, what the hell? He's like, I wanted to
grapefruit drink, a bus, or a dog?
the dog. Put that on a t-shirt.
Exactly.
he walks in with a greyhound dog. He won in a poker game. He said it got into 3 a.m. and they were all. He said it got into 3 a.m. We're all pretty drunk. And the captain of the ship says, "Why gamble for money when we can gamble for things?" Charlie said, "I woke up with a greyhound." The main plot of this episode is the sisters who live with the doc don't get along. And they're arguing. He wants to take him. He's like, "If you can stop fighting, I'll take you to a pediatric convention in Paris." But the funniest part of the show, Charlie with this greyhound doesn't know what to do with it. He's like, "I'm going to race it." And the doc's like, "Don't race the dog. That's not a good life." So he decides to become a greyhound breeder.
Oh, boy.
So this is the last part. Charlie walks in the house. This is the end of the episode. He says, "Good news, Harry. The bitch is in heat." Verbatim. Those are his words,
Yes.
by the way.
Is he talking about
He's
Blanche?
so crude.
Then Blanche sticks her head in the door. Hello?
That was a couple episodes ago. And so he says this. And as he says this, Dreyfus the dog, so the greyhound's outside. As he says the bitch is in heat, Dreyfus the dog walks out the back door, and he wants to do purebred greyhounds.
Nice.
And he mounts the purebred.
Wow.
They look out the window. They see Dreyfus giving it to the
Get it done.
greyhound, and basically Charlie the neighbor's like, "Well, there goes my purebred greyhound." Dreyfus comes in, lays on the kitchen floor, falls asleep. End show. Empty nest, fellas.
Wow.
Empty nest or square pegs?
I'm going empty nest.
Really?
Well,
And I really enjoyed that episode of Square Pegs. Empty Nest is like a warm blanket. It feels... picture an 80s show you love.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this show in my life, by the way.
Okay.
I
That's
can
right.
tell you, having watched 2 episodes, I have zero recollection.
Okay.
It was funny. I liked the neighbor guy.
Yeah.
He was... And the southern nurse, I didn't even get to her. She was really funny.
She's funny. Yeah.
It just felt... It was comfort food.
Yeah. And it's great mindless television, right? It's the kind of thing that you don't have to be too invested in.
So I enjoyed... Square Pegs is definitely a little more quirky.
Sure.
I'm 1 episode in. Pete's got a solid
You can,
15. But, yeah.
you guys are leaving no stone unturned over here with Dr. Fongs.
These Dr. Fongs are disappearing, listeners. They are...
yeah. Hole in the
Outstanding.
glass.
Well, good job watching.
I'm guessing the listeners can hear like us slurping these things.
Yep, sorry.
Oh, man. That was a lot. That was a nice long... Hey, it's episode 40. We don't give a shit.
No.
We can do what we want on
No.
this episode.
Nobody's listening anyways. We can do whatever we want.
Pete, you missed the memo about our outfits tonight.
Yep.
Ryan and I are wearing pajamas.
Yep. Yep. PJs.
PJs.
Mm-hmm.
You sleeping over?
Sure.
All right.
For all you know, I sleep in jeans and a button down.
I think that... Hold on, let me get the script out here. By the way, I'm John. We start with a drink. Retractions.
If you
Hey,
haven't watched us before,
it's time
If you're
to
new
figure out...
listeners,
It's time to figure out what we're doing here.
yeah. What are we doing here? What the hell?
What are
What
we
the hell
here
is
for?
this?
Well, I will say, maybe it was last episode, I predicted, so I'm willing to retract. I made a prediction at the end of our last episode as to what I thought our 40th episode would be, and I predicted Snorks. If it's not,
good.
I'm going to retract.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good bet, though.
Yeah.
Ready to assist you. Pee-wee.
Morning, Conky. What's today's secret word?
Today's secret word is who's the boss?
Oh, man.
baby.
You know, Conky likes to give us gold for our
Yeah, he does.
anniversary episodes.
Yeah, he does.
30 was Cheers?
No.
we haven't done
I
Cheers.
don't think we've done Cheers. I don't remember what 30 was.
20 was Family Ties.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All I know is Who's the Boss is an all-timer.
It's a classic.
Yeah. Great show.
Yep.
What do you guys remember?
Yeah, let's go around the table with memories.
Not a whole lot of specifics, just, that he lived there with his daughter. And there was the Blanche-like mother
Yes.
of Angela. And he was a baseball player.
Tony Micelli.
Yep.
And, I can't remember specific plot lines or anything like that. But, I remember liking the show. liking Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, we all
Who
did.
didn't?
We all
Who
did.
didn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's great.
Well, and John, you and I definitely have memories of the show. I watched it as a kid at our family, but John and I watched it when we were in college together. It was like our
Sunday night.
Sunday night, like a late night, like syndication. After we studied, it would.
Nice.
So Ryan and I were roommates for 2 years in college. We lived together 1 year with three or four other
Yeah.
guys, and then we shared an apartment. And on Sunday nights, after ripping it up all weekend, being a little hungover, I would usually go get some Taco Bell from across the street, a couple gorditas,
Gordita.
and TBS or whatever the hell it was
Yeah.
would marathon
Had a loop on
every
it.
Sunday. Would do like,
Yeah.
let's say 9 till midnight of Who's the Boss.
Wow.
Now we wouldn't watch all, but I mean it was a Sunday tradition.
Yeah.
But you had a 3-hour window where you're just like, let's watch Who's
Yeah.
the Boss.
Yeah,
And it's there.
and we
And they're great.
it-
Yeah.
that was a Sunday. It was a tradition.
Yeah, for sure.
I have very, very vivid memories of us sitting down and watching that crazy
Yep.
show. Because I, like you, I watched it as a kid, but my main memories of it are from
As a young adult now, right?
2001, 2002,
Right,
whenever
yeah.
that was.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Assad Kalata.
Aside Budweiser,
Budweiser. Yeah.
some of the
producers
writers and
of the
producers.
show- of the show. Yeah. Only things that you would remember when you're.
When you're in your 20s. watching Who's
Exactly.
the Boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I remember about this show? Angela, Jonathan, Mona, Samantha.
Exactly. Tony Micelli, great name, right?
Weird van.
Yeah. Like I always figured that he was kind of playing himself, kind of on the show. I mean, I don't know Danza, but I feel like he was playing himself a lot in the character.
Could be, yeah.
It's a good housekeeper. Here we go.
Yeah, so
Again,
Yeah. Do you have any other specific memories before Engineer Pete?
no. I mean that spells it out for sure.
It was, it's hilarious. I haven't seen an episode probably since
25 years, right? Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20.
it's 5,
Jeez.
25.
Yeah. So-
I was like doing math. I'm like, are you sure it's not 15? 25. But I'm excited to watch another one. But before that, Engineer Pete just got information beamed in his brain from Conky. Conky splashed a little rum in his mouth to wake him up. And Pete's back, and he's going to teach us all about Who's the Boss.
All right. It's an ABC sitcom that ran from September of 84 to April of 92. Ryan, you sure you got all the rum out? You might need to tip that straw. Tip the glass and get the straw down. 8 seasons and 196 episodes.
Whoa. Almost 200 episodes?
Yeah. And so Tony's a widowed baseball player who had to retire from a shoulder injury. And
Ryan's getting us beers real quick. What are you going with, Pete?
I'm looking at that Lakefront IPA looking mighty delicious.
I'll take a... hold on. Sorry. Quick mid-show interruption. Sorry, Engineer
Yeah.
Pete. Ryan's getting us beers.
Yeah.
This is episode
Well, I
40.
can keep talking.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with...
Oh my gosh, he's giving good options.
He's really giving good options.
Yeah,
Holy
so, but he moves to, from Brooklyn, because he thinks it's not a good environment for his daughter,
Okay.
to Connecticut.
I knew it was
And
Vermont or Connecticut.
And
or
his
something
job
like that.
is a live-in housekeeper for Angela, who's a divorced ad executive.
Ad exec.
So she has one kid and
Jonathan.
a mother who's doesn't appear to be, I don't think she's employed, right?
No.
But she's like, I should hire this guy to live in my house, and his daughter is going to come live in my house. Like, the whole premise, when you really think about it, is pretty ridiculous. But
totally
Compared-
normal in 84.
compared to Charles in Charge, where he kind of came with the house, like,
Correct.
what's more weird? Or Belvedere, they just hired him, but he was available
That's a
because he
great
wanted
question.
to write a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a butler to the queen, but he was like, I want to write a book, so I'm going to go.
Find any family in Pittsburgh and
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
exactly.
Do you think I should get up and get a bottle opener or just open the other one?
Oh, that's a tough call, John.
I'll get you a bottle opener.
And so there's always like some romantic tension between Tony and Angela. Season 8 is when they first kind of let that be known. Part of the plot line.
I love that they waited 8 seasons to like, you know what I mean?
The show could have gotten taken off the air well before that.
So I think that's really, like, I respect that a ton, that it wasn't until season 8 that they actually hooked up.
Yeah. But I mean, I think a lot of that stuff kind of comes through like feedback that the shows get, you know?
Right.
So maybe the writers never wanted them to be romantically involved, but then like testing or whatever.
Well, it's
drove
sort
it
of
in that
like
direction. I don't know.
it's like the sort of the jump the shark moment a little bit. So
A little bit, yeah.
what I appreciate about this show, but correct me if I'm wrong, they never brought a little kid on like they do in a lot of shows.
I don't believe so.
Growing Pains did it. Family Ties
Exactly.
did it.
Yeah, they all bring another little kid on mid-show to like, because the little kid is growing up too fast, and now they're not little anymore.
Yeah. So there was one. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, so 9 seasons.
8 seasons.
8. Oh, so it's not till the last season that they get together.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's a
big thumbs up for me.
huge run throughout the whole 80s, basically, right?
Yeah. 83, you said?
84.
84.
To
I'm
90,
really
84 to
I'm really
92.
good.
We're really.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys were distracted.
Yeah, Ryan. Hey, real quick, let's keep this freaking distraction show.
Come on.
Hey, Ryan, what's in your glass?
Furious.
Surly Furious. Hey, Engineer Pete, what's in your glass?
Lakefront IPA.
And I'm having a Bell's Two Hearted for our anonymous statistician. It's this is a first for us.
Is it?
2 cocktails in one episode? Not counting the Jägermeister one.
Sure.
Maybe not. Nobody knows. Hey, tell us about Who's the Boss?
Yeah, so there was a spin-off. It was called Living Dolls.
What?
It featured it was like barely a spin-off. Leah Remini and Halle Berry. Remini had appeared on Who's the Boss as a friend of Angela's. And that was like
This is
I don't know
the King of Queens lady?
Yeah, I don't know that it was a total tie-in.
Was she in Saved by the Bell?
Like it wasn't an extension of the plot.
Yeah, she was Leon Carosi's daughter.
Yeah, Stacy Carosi.
Very nice. Good pull. Jeez.
At the beach season.
Yeah.
I love that season.
Yeah, so she was on Who's the Boss briefly, and then they spun off this show.
Is that
Don't
even
know
a
why, but
spinoff?
I think
It's called Paper Dolls.
It's called Living Dolls.
Well, even creepier than Paper Dolls.
Yeah, I think Conky's got it in his database now, though. So
Okay.
it lasted one season.
Who was the other lady?
Cool.
Who was the other lady?
Halle Berry?
Halle Berry.
Yes. Yeah, one season. So maybe Conky will feed that one to us one of these.
Hell yeah,
weeks and
Conky.
Find out about this one season show.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
So this also, in addition to being very successful in the U.S., there was the international market had a lot of different versions, some dubbed, and others just total remakes. And one thing that I find pretty interesting is what the translated names of those shows were.
Yes.
In Italy, it was Super Housekeeper.
That's our new podcast name.
The UK was just called The Upper Hand. Germany, the 2 versions. There was a dubbed version called Who's the Boss Here?
Okay.
And there was a remake called A Life's Job. Mexico, the show was called A Family with Angel. In Brazil, House Saint.
Wow.
And Poland, Who's in Charge Here?
That's I
Love
like
it.
the 2 of them have here involved, the
Yes.
German and the Polish ones.
Yes. They need to be specific about it's not
Yes.
you can't just leave those
Somewhere
questions
else,
wide
yeah.
open. Yeah. So the song is called Brand New Life, and it was actually written by the series creators and executive producers, Martin Cohen and Blake Hunter.
Nice.
The music was composed by Larry Carlton and Robert Kraft. Larry Carlton is a guitarist who you may remember from the Magnum PI theme song. Mostly a studio musician, appeared in hundreds of studio sessions. Steely Dan, Joni Mitchell, Herb Alpert, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones.
Okay.
He played
Sounds
the guitar
familiar.
on Michael
Yeah, he's been
Post's
around.
Hill Street Blues theme. Yeah. Robert Kraft, the other guy, is a songwriter, film composer, and recording artist and record producer. He has a huge resume, including producing or co-producing artists ranging from Ozzy Osbourne to Bette Midler to Kermit the Frog.
Jeez.
He co-produced Under the Sea.
Really?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's a great jam.
And he was,
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
he was the president of Fox Music from 1994 to 2012, supervising the music for more than 300 films. So this song better be good.
Wow, that is like
That's a big
big
deal.
pedigree here.
Yes.
And Bette Midler gets brought up again, not her stand-up comedy though.
No.
Which doesn't
Again,
exist.
no.
As we
It
know.
does exist. We're going to do an episode
No,
about that.
he did play it.
He did play it. I know.
There was a joke. So there's 3 versions of the show or song throughout the show. One was sung by Larry Weiss from 84 to 86. Larry wrote the song "Rhinestone Cowboy." That's his fun fact. The second singer was Steve Wariner from 86 to 90. He was an award-winning country singer. And then the final 90 to 92 was Jonathan Wolfe. He created the theme show music for Seinfeld and composed the music for King of Queens, Reba, and Will and Grace. Now, another fun fact. Last thing I'm going to say about this
I
song.
love all this. This is great.
The first 3 seasons, the first line of the song was, "There's more to life than what you're living." And it was changed to, "There's a time for love and a time for living."
Yeah, that's the one I know.
That's the one I know too.
Yeah.
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 There's a time for love and yeah.
Yeah.
Should we sing it? There's a time for love and a time for living. The choice is up to you, my friend. Face the push and a shove.
Blanche is waiting in the door.
Yeah, we know this song.
Yeah. So that's the facts that I've got.
Well done, Engineer Pete and Conky. That was
It's a great one.
Yeah, that was really good, both about the song and about the 8 seasons, nearly 200 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this show. I feel like it's one of these shows like MASH was on in syndication like forever. It was like always on. Like
You could find it any.
Yeah, it was the kind of show that was like always on after like 10:30 on like after the news.
Easy
right?
to dig up.
Yeah.
Certain shows I feel like, and maybe this is just my age, but like I feel like a show like Facts to Life, once it was off the air, I didn't feel like I never saw it.
Yep.
Whereas Who's the Boss, 2001.
Correct. You're
We're-
still finding it
We're finding it easily.
for
so.
sure.
MASH. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers is another one. Yeah.
I feel like these are the things when I would come home from a night out, when I
Yes.
still lived at home, my dad would be on the couch and there would be Cheers, MASH.
Who's the
God.
Boss?
So one of those things would be
Wings.
on the TV.
God.
I watched an episode of Cheers the other week, not to go off on a tangent, but man, is that show good.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
When we get to
Holds
that
up.
at some
Yeah.
point, it holds up rather well.
When I was particularly when I was a younger kid, I knew that I was up too late. Like I couldn't fall asleep if I heard MASH. Like if MASH started playing, I was like, oh
Yes.
God, I gotta get to. It's too late.
Right, because your parents are watching a show, and like
Correct.
as a kid, you're like, I don't want to come down and watch this.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't understand that show.
No, I knew that MASH sucked. Right. At least for my kid brain. Right.
Yeah.
That's a show we'll get, right?
I
don't
when
know.
that ended. It was on
Yes,
for a
it
really
was
long
the.
time.
So yeah, I'll save
Early
my
part
I'll
of the 80s. Right.
I'll save my Major Goolsby stories for when we get to MASH.
All right.
Oh my goodness! All right, so we've got some great background. Let's
Take a listen.
Let's
Should
listen.
we
Let's
dive-
see if we have the correct opening line.
Yeah.
Dive in here.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Everything that's the bass.
Yep. Boom. Yeah.
This themes. So one thing I will say, this theme song brings me back to 2001.
Yep.
Right, like this when we, like it's not a song I really remember as a kid, whereas Family Ties, that was imprinted in my brain.
Yep.
This didn't become imprinted in my brain until I
Yep.
was in my 20s. But it's a nice intro, a little cheesy keyboard. There's some
Yep.
chimes. There's a hi-hat.
Yep.
And the bass.
Mm-hmm. What instrument is that that's
Yeah.
going?
That is some sort of keyboard patch.
Yeah.
What is it trying to mimic? I don't know,
Right.
but it is.
It sounds like a cat meowing almost.
We've got a lot of keyboard here. It sounds like.
Yes.
It sounds. We say this a lot, but it sounds wonderfully 80s.
Correct. Yeah.
Very, very keyboard heavy.
Before he gets the
guitar.
yes,
Yes.
it sounds plastic.
Correct.
It's the best word I can use to describe it.
Yeah. It almost do 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 like
It just sounds so everything about it
yeah.
is a nice 80s vibe.
Yep.
And we have the right version because he just said there's a time
Correct.
for love.
Yeah, this is the version I remember.
Same.
As a kid and into the 20s for sure.
So I'm going to say I believe this is the Steve Wariner. It's hard to know.
Yeah,
I
think
believe
that's
this is
right.
season 3, but I think they actually changed halfway through season 3.
Huh.
It wasn't like and now like the more we get into these shows, I just think it's so weird like to imagine like a show that you watch, you get your season finale, and then the season comes back with a different theme song.
I think it was a thing to do though
I do.
in the 80s.
I agree.
Yeah, like I don't know that
Does
they
it
do
still
it anymore.
happen though? Yeah, because I was going to say I feel like I would be not upset. Like I shouldn't get upset
Yeah.
about TV theme shows, but
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 even
like-
in the 90s, right? Like Friends had the song.
Correct.
Yes.
And then in the
Right.
early 2000s, The Office had the song. They weren't
Right.
doing
and
multiple
if they
versions.
changed it halfway through, people
Sopranos didn't change the song.
Right.
people
in
would lose their
season-
minds.
Yeah, that's a great point. Whereas from Dallas to Who's the Boss,
Yeah, just rework it a little bit.
Cosby Show changed every year. I
every
think.
year,
Yeah.
new intro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got to keep people interested. They're coming
Yep.
for the theme song.
Darn right.
There's what does he say? There's a time for love and a time for loot.
So I just pulled this up, and quite frankly, I've never been certain what he said right there.
You know, I love an under enunciator.
Yes. There's a time for love and a time for living.
Oh, he really good for him.
Yeah.
There's a time for love and a time for loot.
Yeah. Like, at best, you can get live out of that, but
Is this Aaron Neville?
right.
I don't know much. I love you. I know I love you. Can't you see?
Steve Wariner, Aaron Neville.
Is that who sings I Don't Know Much? Aaron Neville?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listeners, let us know.
One of the.
You say taste the wind?
Yeah, I was going to say chase the wing.
There's a time for love and a time for
Buffalo
living.
wings.
So take a chance and face the wind.
Taste the wing.
Taste the
Taste-
wings.
Taste the wang.
What do you think that
Road
is?
that's hip.
That's what I've always
A
thought.
road that's hidden?
Yes. I would have never guessed that, quite frankly.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Tony's creepy ass van going down a
Right.
hidden road at this spot.
Yeah.
And his van is so sketchy.
Right. Which Angela would never have hired a guy that pulls up in that van.
Or if he did, she would have bought him an Aerostar immediately afterward.
Correct. No matter how cute his little daughter was, like
If
there's
you're
no
going to
way.
live here, you need either an Aerostar for your
Caravan with the wood panel.
Right.
a caravan.
Right.
What was the Aerostar was Ford.
Yep.
Right.
Caravan was
Dodge. What did Chevy have?
the Astro.
The Astro.
Yeah.
Pete had an
Nice.
Astro.
Nice.
Who else had an Astro?
Did your Astro get stolen?
Somebody tried.
Wow.
Pete was living in Brew City and Milwaukee, and he had a
Somebody-
silver Astro van.
Came with my wife.
I've got a wife and an Astro.
Yeah. They smashed they smashed a screwdriver into the steering column, but couldn't start it.
Bastards.
They were amateurs, really, is what it
Bastards,
was.
yeah.
But and then we had to have a junkyard steering column put in, and it was never quite the same.
That's a fun story.
Yeah.
What was the last line?
Somebody
Take
stole
a
your
chance
Astro.
and face the wind. There's an open road and a road that's hidden.
Hidden. Not
Hidden.
Not
Hidden.
hidden.
Yeah.
Sketch great.
Brand new life of comedy.
Lima bean? Brand new life of lima bean.
Brand new life of lima beans. No, brand new life around the bend.
Oh, not even close. This guy, did he even have a lyric sheet?
I like the next part that's coming up here, by the
Yep.
way. This is where the song gets very good.
Pharaoh times. You talking about the pyramids?
Musically, if we like to reference other artists, Stevie Wonder in the weird key change. So this it sounds like something that could be on songs in the key. I feel bad already saying that. This sounds like a song that could be on songs in the key of life.
I mean, we've made worse comparisons.
Yeah.
Because just what it's doing with the key change is
Correct.
Stevie Wonder does freaking weird ass shit with how he structures
And
songs.
it gives the perfect mood change because he's telling the story,
Yes.
and it fits perfectly with the story he's telling, right?
Yeah. So there were times. All right, let's find out what sort of times.
I lost a dream or two.
That was clear, right?
Correct.
Times he lost a dream or two. Found what's he gonna say? Pal.
Found Blanche in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Trail.
Correct.
Like Hansel and Gretel.
Yep.
And at the end was you.
Yep.
Mm.
This Stevie Wonder thing's making more and more sense.
It is.
Even what's going on in the back with the doo 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 doo.
Yeah, there's a lot. They got like 5 keyboards going here, each doing something different.
What was the episode with Robert Falco? And I thought it was King Diamond's keyboard players. There was some weird shit going on, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I definitely remember these lyrics. This song it's kind of a love song, right? I mean, what I've always thought was so weird is that there was this sexual tension, but they didn't really end up together until the very end of the show. But the theme song is like a love song.
It is. And maybe it's about bringing together the families, perhaps, or just finding, human connections.
Well, we'll find out.
Judith Light? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Angela?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just saw her name picture, like in my mind's
Correct.
eye. I could see it on the screen, and I can picture the font. All right.
Path you taken, a path not taken. The choice is up to you.
So what do you think those lyrics are?
There's a choice you take and a choice not taken.
Or path you taken, a path not taken?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't listening.
Path taken, a path not taken. The choice is
Are
up
you
to
even
you, my
allowed
friend.
to vote? What the hell?
My favorite part of the song is right there with that little guitar lick that comes in.
Well, let's back it up because that harmony is. I love
Yeah.
the harmony.
Yep.
On the choice is up to you, my friend.
Yep.
The choice is up to you.
Yeah, it's a great part of the
All
song.
right. I know.
Taken, a path not taken. The choice is up to you, my friend.
That
Wow.
sounds like
That's a
that.
very subtle guitar solo.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that Blues Traveler guitar player on the song "I Have My Moments" from Travelers and Thieves.
Oh, great song. Great song.
Hey, welcome to the podcast,
Blues Traveler.
It's about time.
And we're not
Jeez.
talking about Hook. We're not. No.
No.
I have my moments. Travelers and
moments now and again.
Stevie Wonder, Blues Traveler. That's all you need.
Long, but you might awaken to a brand new.
Go ahead.
Something about a log and a mild awake, half awake.
Oh boy, the nights are long, but you might awaken. I don't think that's what he says.
Do you think is he talking about like a boner?
That's what I'm saying.
Or loneliness.
Oh,
That, maybe.
listeners, is he talking about loneliness or a boner?
We're gonna need some help from Tom here again. I think.
I just backed it up a couple seconds.
Tom
So
from
I
the
wanna
920.
Yeah.
What do we got?
He's going to come with something that's going to blow our mind.
Up to you, my friend. Nights are long, but you might awaken to a brand
Okay, now that I
totally
know the
about a
words,
boner.
then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or then I can hear it. But yeah.
The boner part?
No.
Oh.
Just I can understand the words.
I
thought you were like, John's got this.
No. I would never say that.
True story.
Friend in life.
I know this line, so
So one of the things that my
brand new life, right?
correct, Brandon, it's the name
Oh,
of
is
the
it?
song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot already.
My recollection of the different versions was this part is different at the end. So like in the first versions, it's
okay.
brand new life, brand new life.
The timing?
Brand new life. Yeah. And here they have the hesitation, right? The brand new life.
Does one of the versions have
brand new
clapping? Brand new life.
life. It might be.
It could be.
Yeah.
I love I love a tag like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Let's get the resolution. I think we got like a half second left.
I mean,
That's so good.
if this doesn't sound like 1986, I don't know what does. I mean, it just
That's great.
so mild and pleasing as far as I'm concerned.
That's a really smooth ending.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
easy listening.
Yes.
It has a very the production and instrumentality has like a very Steve Winwood feel, like a Steve Winwood Higher
Back
Love.
in the High Life.
Yeah, like,
that
mhm.
I respect that, and I'm with you. So we got a little Steve Winwood, a little Stevie Wonder, and a touch of Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler. Yeah,
Just a
that's a hell of a cocktail right there.
sprinkle.
That is, man, that's a Dr. Fong.
If Dr. Fong was a song.
That's what it would be. Well, let's take a look at Tony Micelli's Creepy Van, Judith Light, Mona. Right.
Oh yeah,
That's the kind of van.
There's that damn
you
van.
see it, you cross the street, you walk away, you warn people.
yeah. I mean, in the after school special, that's the van that was parked across the street waiting for the kids to get out of school.
Yeah, and this guy was a professional athlete, right? I mean,
And now is he a painter? Or am I making
He
that
played for the St. Louis Cardinals,
In the-
and he got injured.
yes.
And so he had nothing else to do but become housekeeper.
How many seasons did he play?
He played like one season.
Okay,
Kinda like
I
Sam
guess
Mayday
at,
Malone?
Yeah. Yeah.
At
the
the league
Boston Red
minimum,
Sox?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're kind of
Because my recollection is, don't they have one of the scenes in the intro is him? I think it's a softball scene, but he's like diving headfirst like Pete Rose
okay.
in home plate.
And I think the league minimum in the 80s, I remember Sports Illustrated used to publish those.
Yeah.
It was like $25,000.
Yeah.
Okay, well that explains the van a lot more clearly. Then
Yeah.
We apologize, Tony.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, there's the fork in the road.
Look at those leaves. It's autumnal.
It's autumn in Connecticut. Is that where this takes place?
It looks
Correct.
like the cover of Jethro Tull's Songs from the Wood.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
We've just laid it all on the woodshed tonight. Holy moly.
Welcome to the podcast, Jethro Tull.
So here's our title, Who's the Boss? I like the font.
Me too.
It's not on the house where it normally is. It's in the...
It's in the woods.
Yeah, they're showing that they're moving from Jersey, I'm guessing, to
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay.
Let me bring you songs from the wood. Make you feel.
All right, pulling up. Sure.
First off, did you see when he pulled up, there was a kid just riding behind a
Yeah,
bike?
love that. I love that.
Now, Tony, for driving a creepy van, is a sharp-dressed guy.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got a collar, he's got a sweater, and he's got a sport coat.
He's a good-looking fella.
It's a job application. It's first day on the job.
And Judith Light is in her bathrobe with a towel over her head.
Yeah, well, she's got...
So the sexual tension starts from the beginning.
Exactly.
There's a small piece of terry cloth separating Tony from...
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, she said that.
Okay.
And it quickly moves from like the first scene of the first show to like several seasons in where he's vacuuming.
There he is. Look at that 80s vacuum.
It's great.
And he's partying. He's having a good time.
It's a great life that Tony Micelli has.
Looks like a... I mean, it kind of looks like the Belvedere living room.
It does. It's probably the same damn set.
Recycle that thing.
Slap some wallpaper and a couple coats of paint, and you're good.
Oh! There's Mona.
There's Mona. Is she doing some cheerleading?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Now, she was always a bit randy.
Darn right. That's a good way.
I think her and Blanche would have been
a dangerous crew out on the town.
Well,
I'll tell you that much.
maybe a little too competitive.
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah, I think they were cut from the same cloth.
Because didn't she live in the above the garage, sort of like Mike Seaver?
Mona did?
Yeah,
Yeah, she didn't live in the house.
yeah. She had the building. She had a living quarters above the garage.
My understanding, she had quite a range of suitors.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a revolving door.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's good for her. It's good work if you can get it.
Yep. There's Jonathan.
All right, so now we get the introduction of the characters.
Yeah.
We're seeing Tony Danza in a tux.
Yeah, it's a nice Times New Roman type font. I
It
like
is.
it.
It's a great font.
There's the scene.
So this is him playing
Yeah,
a pickup game of softball or something.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
at the local sports complex.
But they had to get in that he was a sports guy, right? They had to get it in somehow.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, everybody's telling, "Hey, we got a former major league player on our softball team.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna win the division."
Correct. Yeah. Now that is some great 80s hair from a woman. There's no other way to describe it. It's the poofy blonde,
But blonde with brown in it.
yeah, correct. I don't know if Farrah Fawcett's the right description for that hair,
Yeah,
but
I think that's not
Yeah.
too far off.
Man, and she's got legs that go all the way down to the floor, doesn't she?
Most do, unless you're
bum,
levitating.
bum, bum, bum.
Sorry, Judith Light.
Oh,
Come
tender.
on, hold on. They just show
Some tender moment right there.
between Mona and
Yeah.
it's a little creepy. And there we got Alyssa Milano. Speaking of 80s hair,
Oh yeah, that's great. Kid 80s hair.
and
yeah.
she's got the 80s. I mean, a classic rotary phone.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Alyssa Milano's on top 5 of hot babes from the 80s.
Oh,
for
every
sure,
guy
right?
our age?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Jonathan. There's Mona. She had a pretty risky outfit on, that Mona right there.
Yeah.
It was like a see-through sequin gown.
Well, she's got things to do.
She's got dates.
She's got dates.
What was Blanche's line? Her loins ached.
Loins
They're burning
ached.
and
Yeah.
aching.
They were
I
burning
think.
and aching, yeah.
So now we got Tony Micelli carrying. What do you call that? The fireman's carry.
Sure.
Carrying her out the door.
Carrying her out the door. He's got cleaning to do. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember this scene.
Are they staying in are they on vacation together?
Yeah, no, in fact I think I remember this episode where they're traveling and they have to I feel like it's a storm or something, and they have to pull off and get a hotel, and there's only one room and it's 2 beds, but
yeah,
classic.
But unless it's season 8,
They're
there's
not
nothing
ready.
happening.
They're not ready for love yet.
They're not ready for love.
Yeah.
Still in denial.
Yep.
You know, what's it's funny, these shows, Belvedere, Who's the Boss, Charles in Charge, there's something almost charming about how they just all become happy families.
Of course.
Your housekeeper, his daughter,
Yeah.
his
Of course.
van.
Yeah.
Think the van's in the family Christmas card?
Damn well should be.
They took the picture sitting inside with a sliding door open.
I love it.
I feel like it would have to have those doilies around the top.
Dingle
right?
balls?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the correct.
Sure. Oh yeah, Tony's team.
So 2 things at the end. Tony does the spit in your hand handshake.
Yep.
You don't see that anymore these days.
No, not usually.
It's post-COVID.
Man,
And free.
the Super 80s handshake. Hey, if you want to do the Super 80s podcast friend handshake, spit in your mitt,
Spit in your mitt and get a good
shake
shake.
with pal.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not shaking any of your hands.
And then we end with Tony and Angela drinking a glass of wine,
Candlelight dinner.
candlelight dinner.
Yeah, I remember that episode
Very
too.
nice.
Someone was
is that
supposed
in-
to have a date and it gets stood up.
Is that in the
Aw.
living room?
Yeah, in the living room.
Aw.
Yeah, he made a I don't think she got stood up. I think the guy he catered the dinner for her, and the guy came and left. Oh, I had to go back on business. Oh, she found out that he was married. That was the plot of that show.
Small hitch.
Yeah.
Big memory. Small hitch. Big memory, Ryan. You really got some of these things locked
really
down.
do.
I don't know why. I don't
amazing.
know why. Dr. Fong unlocks the windows.
Is Tony a good cook?
Damn right he is. Look at him. An Italian masterpiece.
He's a
Hammer is
Botticelli?
cooking.
Yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Tony's an Italian masterpiece.
Yes, he is. And a hell of a dancer. Have you ever seen this guy dance? He's light on his feet.
That doesn't mean what you think it means.
Let's get another beer.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, dear listeners. For those of you still with us on this episode, it's time to vote. Majority rules. All it takes is 2 to get it on the Wall of Fame or the Wall of Shame. Let's start with the obvious one, Ryan.
Yeah. No question about it. This is a Arnold every day of the week.
I'll be back.
I think the only mystery here is potentially Pete.
No, I mean it's easy listening, so it's not like a song I want to jam out to, but I think it's well written and well produced, and yeah, I'm gonna give it a.
I'll be back.
Arnold.
And I will do the same. Great song. Love it.
I'll be back.
Well, as you know, we've added a new category.
Yeah.
If a song gets 3 thumbs up, the question is this a super mega, holy smokes, this song kicks so much ass, I can't believe it. We have only done this for a few episodes. We're going to, at some point in an episode when we have a short theme song, retroactively vote on some of these other ones. At this point, we have 0 songs on this list.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to go around in a circle, and you're going to say yes or no. Is this song a super mega awesome all-time classic, perfect theme song? Ryan.
Yes, it's an all-timer in my book.
John. Yes. Engineer Pete.
Now you guys make me feel guilty because I was gonna say no.
You can.
I'm gonna say no.
That's okay. I
That's
get
okay.
it. Yep.
I mean, what's my criteria? As a song or as a theme song?
I just think in general, just go with your gut.
Go with the gut.
I mean, I'm thinking about when we did the March Madness, the brackets.
Yeah.
Some of those things like Dallas and some of those other ones that I'm like,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This
Does it make you say holy shit?
this does not.
Then
There it is.
then you did the right thing.
It is a very good song though. It is a very good theme song.
I think if I didn't have such fond memories of this
Yeah.
show, I wouldn't like this. So I think you made the right call. I think if it makes you say holy shit, that's reason to give it a
Yeah.
Because
In
you
the
guys
same-
had a 2000s rerun, you might have more nostalgia for it.
100%,
Well, and I think,
without a doubt.
I think when it comes to this thing of like, I'll call all-timers, the all-timers are like either you know it or you don't right away. If you have to think about it, it's not an all-timer in my book. Like,
And does it move you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because if you actually have to think about it, then it's not even close.
Right. Like at some point we'll have to go back and vote on something like DuckTales, and for me that's a no-brainer. Of course it is. Like I love that song. So,
Oh yeah, Night Court.
Yep.
Right.
So
There's small timers in there.
I think you made the right call. Anonymous statistician, hopefully you're keeping up with our super mega list.
Yeah.
And well, that leaves us with one last segment. Tyler from Madison, you wanted us to bring back questions. I didn't. I didn't have a lot of time to think of like an amazing one. But here's-
Angela or Mona?
Ooh, Ryan's question: if you were, are we talking have a long-term romantic relationship?
One
or?
night
Actually,
in the guest suite
above the garage.
above the garage.
My answer is the same no matter what. Angela.
Eh.
It might be a little more calm, but Mona kind of weirds me out.
I'm gonna say Angela as well. I do agree, Mona. She's a little much for me.
Yeah, and that beret was a deal breaker in the opening scene.
You wore a beret once. No.
Ryan. It's your question.
I'm gonna say Mona.
I
if
know
it's
you
if
are.
it's one night.
You have fun.
If it's one night, you wake up and you say, "What in the world happened here?"
I love it.
Yeah.
How do you like that, Tyler from Madison? I have one more that's a bit more pedestrian. We've had 40 shows. If you could choose any part of a house, and it could be an entire first floor, but make it like somebody in, let's say, Milwaukee themes it as a fully functioning bar. Where would you want to, like, let's say, all of us and our wives and a bunch of friends and buddies are just going to spend a night partying. What do you think would be the coolest 80s house, living room, kitchen to become like a legit,
bar.
a freaking, like a functioning bar?
Interesting.
May I go first?
Yeah.
The Robin's Nest.
Oh,
Magnum
nice.
PI Hawaii Mansion.
Nice.
That'd be a
Awesome.
fun
Love
theme.
it.
Yeah.
Great
Fun
answer.
themed bar.
Yeah. And I would say the Three's Company living room.
Oh, man. That's nostalgia.
Just for nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
A fun setting.
yeah.
That's a great answer. I think I would go with... I might. Oh man, there's so.
There's
we've
a
done
lot
a
to
lot of
offer.
shows. I was thinking the Night Court cafeteria would be a fun place to
Ooh,
party.
great one.
But I do think a living room kitchen would probably be more fun.
Sure.
I don't know. I asked the question. I didn't even think about this in advance.
Well, and now I'm like, I don't even know what the inside of the Robin's Nest looks like. I was just like, it's a mansion in Hawaii. It's got to be cool. But you guys are
Yeah.
like analyzing it to another.
Like we've brought up, I think the Family Ties living room kitchen combo
The
would be a
Keatons,
blast.
yeah.
I think that
Absolutely.
would be really cool. What are some other shows we've done?
Well, there's a lot of them. I just don't
We
know.
had a March Madness bracket.
Yeah.
Probably almost 40.
I mean,
But Growing Pains, like all of those would be fun play. Like
the Shirt Tails Tree.
Imagine walking into one of those places. It's a legit bar.
And your shirt just says hungover,
Wasted.
taking the edge off. Oh, okay, so I'm looking at, Golden Girls, Growing Pains, Saved by the Bell, DuckTales, Love Boat, Three's Company, Smurfs, Facts of Life, Charles in Charge, A-Team, Perfect Strangers, Give Me a Break. So right there, it's like, what about the restaurant that the Saved by the Bell crew hung out at?
The Max.
The Max. The Golden Girls, having a drink by in the Lanai.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
The
are
A-Team van. You open the door and you're in the A-Team van like that. Or Kit. You open the door and you're in Kit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, yeah.
a huge version of Kit.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I like
lot.
it.
That's some good stuff.
Great question.
So there you go. We have brought back our obviously at least one of our listeners missed. Get that guy a Dr. Fong.
This is why we don't do 2 drinks an episode.
Well, listeners, 40 episodes. I'm pretty damn impressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty that's
If any of you have listened to all 40, thank you very
bless
much.
you.
and give or take a few minutes. If you listen to all of our episodes, that's a full work week right now.
Okay.
So if you want to call in for a week, you can just listen to 40 episodes
Do
of
it.
us.
Yeah. Or if your job is flexible and you can wear earbuds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pick a week.
Throw those in.
Do it.
Hop into a upper garage flat with Mona. Listen to our podcast. Have a Dr. Fong. See what happens.
It's a brand new life around the way.
A brand new
life.
that's very
Around the
literal.
bend.
Very, very literal brand new life around the bend. Spending a night with Mona in the garage.
Oof, Weirdsville. Anyway, what a blast. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with episode 41. Any predictions for what next week's episode is going to be?
No idea.
10-speed and brown shoe?
Now you got to pick one, Ryan.
Oh, man. I don't know. Little Feet and Hoppin' John.
You're making stuff up. Snorks, episode 41. All right. Well, until our Snorks episode next week, or it might be something else. Yeah, maybe it'll be Hill Street Blues.
The Littles.
Holy shit. The Littles are weird. Yeah. Maybe it'll be the Littles next week.
Maybe.
Regardless, whether you get the Snorks, the Littles, Hill Street Blues. We will see you next week for episode 41. Until then, I'm John.
Right.
And I'm Pete.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 40 of the Super 80s Podcast Friend, where the towels are hers and Mona's.